Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moto 2 for round 6 of IndyHog. Mentioned it in Moto 1. I'm going to say it again. Crazy to me how quickly we're rolling through the season. This would be halfway through like a normal main series season already, which is just insane. Obviously, this one's a little bit longer, but yeah, it's still pretty cracked. But feels like we're doing Road to IndyHog still in the middle of it yesterday, and now we're in the middle of the freaking season already. Don't get it, but either way, here we are. So got you guys all acquainted with all the stuff, all the rules, changes on this track, everything like that. So hopefully you should be able to roll into this Moto 2 a little bit quicker. So let's go through the starting order. Obviously, as always, hitting the invert here. So left to right, it's going to be Matt, Real Deal, then Coop, Armada, Hunter, Camby, Soul, Roman, Luke, Slaunch, and Detail bringing up the rear. So again, starting at that flag and that green line right there, restart line. This one will be gassing it. Green flag, 12 laps at Road America again, Moto 2. Be very important here at the start. People getting aggressive on the inside, but nothing too crazy. I gotta say, maybe the restart line helped with it. Maybe the rolling start helped with it. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Well, there's our first incident. So what I was gonna say is that these starts were cleaner, which, to be fair, through turn 1, they have been cleaner than previous Road America races, but that was unfortunate there. So let's break this one down, see what happened. I think I know what happened here. So Armada has like a big run around the outside, but Coop's like kind of slowing up. So Armada's like getting back onto the track, and he's kind of struggling with it. If you go too wide here, you can see the dip. It's kind of hard to get back on the track. It's not super easy. So eventually he gets back on track. He loses a little bit of time. Hunter's forcing Soul a little too hard here. Probably should have got over to the left. I don't know if this wasn't being calmed or whatever. He starts to go over to the left, but it's a little too late. And then Armada comes to take that space. And I doubt Armada sees Soul here. And then Soul goes right into the rock, and Luke goes right into the back of him. So that was tough, because it was a bit of a racing incident, but at the same time, I don't know. Hunter probably should have moved over left a little bit quicker, and I don't know if the comms were good on that, but they should have been screaming, because that was a little brutal. But yeah, so that was our first big incident of the race, of this race rather. Real Deal with the lead early on. But that was a brutal one for Soul, and he's going to have to try his hardest to recover from that. Getting really loose. Middle of the carousel. Big dives. You can see the racing action is on in Moto 2. Look at this mid-pack on board with Detail here in the middle of, like, all of it. 3 wide in front. Having a 2 wide battle with Hunter. Drafting a little bit at the end of the straightaway. But not really able to take advantage of it at all. There just wasn't really an opportunity there. And here we come. No pitting. No pitting. Oh my god, look at the run for Luke on the left, but the road's going to run out in front of him. 3 wide. Oh, that was a rock conk. Let's take a look at that one. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to see too, how did this all start at the front? Because like there was some major slowage. So it looks like these guys, we're watching that 3 wide in the middle, but these guys are having like a 3-way battle here too, all behind Real Deal. It's Coop, Camby, and Roman. Oh, I think Coop he takes the inside too aggressively, and he moves over right really hard because he doesn't want to put Camby in the side. So he moves over really hard, and that like slows everybody down because he's trying to keep Camby alive, and it just slows up this whole pack. And that's where, and like that kind of happens with Hunter and Detail there too. That's why I see these big runs come out. And yeah, there's some just so many different levels of momentum. And Hunter trying to make the move to the inside there, but Detail's there and just kind of runs him into the rocks. So we'll have to see that one after. That one was kind of brutal, I think. And oh, wow, Soul gets the short end of the stick again. That is crazy. So it's going to be a big recovery race for Soul and Detail. And it's our winner for Moto 1 too. So it's going to be tough to see if he can, recover for the overall at this point. He's going to need some luck, I would say, for Moto 2, probably. with how that start has played out. Could still recover for a good overall finish, but taking the win is going to be difficult. We'll see if he can pull it off. So that's already going to throw a big wrench in this race. I think Luke with the early incident, so he's there, or that's Matt, somewhere in the back still too. Detail on Soul, obviously you have the winner for Moto 1, and Soul was like top 5 as well, all the way in the back early on here. Camby leading. Just so many different instances, and Slaunch, meanwhile, has worked his way through the pack, and this could be huge for him. So he's definitely in the overall lead at this point of the race, I would say, and on for a really good start of it. So if he could take advantage of it, it's definitely in a very good position, that's for sure. That might be a double move there. Close. Pits are not open? Still not open, okay. Pits not open, so pits opening up this time by. Can be leading another lap. But yeah, now the pits will be open. Slaunch already up to second without pitting happening, which is crazy. And that's pretty wild. Maybe Hunter and Luke with a battle down the straightaway here. Maybe into turn 5. Not going to happen. Running wide. And really racy here throughout the field. Love getting cheesed while I'm doing commentaries. All right. Camby already getting caught by Slaunch. Yeah, this is going to be a big one. Slaunch is definitely on for the Moto and the overall. That's for sure. It's really just a question of if Detail can get back up to second, because he could still compete for it if he could get back up to second. But Slaunch has definitely looked strong tonight, and this start for Moto 2 is a pretty great one. So he's going to be... All he's got to do is not get cheesed too much with Camby, and already going for the lead. Does he continue the battle, or does he go for a weird pit here? Going to continue the battle. Gonna opt for that. Pretty good inside move right there. Slides Camby out a little bit, but not too much. And this is the battle for the lead. Camby still leads that lap, but he's on the ropes. Can he hold on to it? I think Camby letting off a little bit right there, trying to keep it clean. And Slaunch just going to make a nice move, and Camby, I think, not going to fight it too hard. You can tell that Slaunch has the pace, and Camby's still on for a really good race. I mean, this is still a really good start for Camby too, so don't want to battle too hard, lose too much pace, because Camby's still way the hell ahead of everybody else too. So I think it's pretty good decision by him. Keep it clean, don't fight it too hard. Battle for position there. Roman and Real Deal. Roman's going to get around him. That's already detailed there. Interesting. So we must have had a lot of, because we were watching the battle for the lead, there must have been a lot of early pitting. I'm going to imagine that, like, possibly all these guys. Oh, big battles. Oh, Hunter gets cheese on the rumble. But yeah, this whole backpack, I imagine, all worked in the pits, potentially. Possibly there. But yeah, I think we did. I think we had a lot more first lap of pits open action than we saw on the first Moto, that's for sure. So things switching up there already for Moto 2. But yeah, look at that. Slaunch already was side by side with Camby when he was making the pass. At the end of the lap, he's going to pick up 4 hog lengths. This is Slaunch's race to lose here.
Lap complete.
Definitely going to be on for his second Moto win of the season, and could have a shot at the overall here too, which could be huge for him. He's not able to get it so far this season. Took one at Minnesota and RX. Detail with an early pit there, but not too early. Lots of pitting. Hunter, Soul, and Coop. Very busy pit road. Very busy pit road. Yeah, definitely his race to lose at this point. He could be on for it. So yeah, that was his last overall, was Minnesota and RX. That was sometime in June. I think I'm right. I don't know. Could be early July. Somewhere whereabouts of that. So it's been a few months. Been a change of the seasons. Not just HRL seasons, but actual real life seasons as well. And he's got a good shot at it here for Road America, which is what I was saying last week too. As long as he doesn't flip, has a good shot at it here. So far proven that. Camby's still on for a good run. He's definitely losing some time there, but he doesn't know it, but he would love to see Roman and Armada battling so hard behind him. If he knew that was going on, he'd love to see that too, because that's another thing that'll just really help him for his position. Because he's on for a good race right now.
Complete.
So it's Roman already up in that podium position who's competing for it, ended up getting a 4th. Armada with really good track position at the moment too. And very spread out because we've seen so many like very early pits in this race. Lots of very early pits. Let's get a run of the field at this point. Since we've seen so many pits and so many different strategies, let's get a run of the field here. So, of course, Slaunch leading them down. Camby second. Roman and Armada third and fourth. I think those are all guys that haven't pit, I would imagine. Detail fifth and Real Deal sixth. Soul seventh. They're all pretty tightly packed there. Eighth, Hunter. Ninth, Soul. 10th, Cube. Or I missed myself? I might have missed myself. Matt there as well. I might have cheesed that. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if I called that correctly, but Luke behind Real Deal and yeah, then Hunter, Soul, Coop, Matt. That's your order so far. So if you get any pits this lap, and we do get some pits, we're hitting that halfway point of the race. Armada with that first pit stall. Luke gonna dice it around him. Armada taking a really long pit. Luke took a really long pit initially, so he's gonna hit a couple bullets and come out in front of Armada right there. And this is where the pit strategies get interesting and how they merge, because that's actually, I want to say Luke done with both. Well, yeah, Luke done with both pits. I think Armada just taking his first right there. He did take a pretty long one, so I think he shot a lot of the bullets, but I think Armada just taking his first there. So I have to see where he works out in the field once he takes his second. Because he definitely lost some of that track position that he had there. Not too much. He might still be in the top 5-ish. Oh, no, not quite. Not quite. We'll see where it works out once he takes, like, all of his pits. But yeah, Slaunch is just building that gap on Camby, just building it. He's really gotten away from it. Remember, just like a few laps ago, and this just goes to show the gap on this track, just a few laps ago, they were battling for the lead. Now look at that. Slaunch is, like, he's starting to get to the point where Camby almost can't see him on the straightaway. That's Roman there trying to work down Camby. He's got a lot of time to do it. And then here's Detail in 5th trying to make that recovery drive in a decent spot right now, but we'll have to see where he actually is on track when the pits come in. And Slaunch and Camby, now this time, Slaunch going for that early strat, but with how good of a start he had, I think he's switching it up. Roman into the pits now? Yeah, I think he's switching it up. I think now that he's got this nice track position, he's like, well, there's no reason to lose it. Roman with an interesting entry there. I believe this is his first pit. He just took the reload, so he's going to do like 15, 16-ish bullets. Should be Real Deal on his first pit as well, since we see his reload. Oh, this might get spicy. No, Real Deal not going to come out in front. This battle, Britlander battle, Hunter and Soul going at it. The UK fight, only ones in the lobby tonight. They've been saying about Elite, so if you guys remember Elite from Halo 5, they've been mentioning Elite the past couple nights. We'll see if we can get him in for one of these at some point, but he could add to that UK standings potentially next week if he is able to show up at some point, but they've been mentioning him for the past couple. So we'll see if that ends up happening. This is Luke behind Roman, but Roman still has one more pit to go. Luke's done with pits. And then it's Armada, Soul, Hunter here. I'm not sure what their pit situations are. We know Armada did one. Armada might still just be on one. I feel like Hunter and Soul did theirs early, so they might be done. Details there. He's done one. But yeah, I think Camby and Slaunch are just going to keep waiting, and why not? Oh, somebody in the pits. I think it was Camby. So Camby doing his first. Detail coming in for his second, I believe. We'll see if this gets interesting. I hear somebody. And it was like, oh, he had to do the reload. Oh, interesting. Two drivers come out in front of him. That's where he comes out. Behind Hunter and Soul again, I think. Sorry about that. I just had to rip a fat sneeze. But I think behind them. So they might... Oh, was it? Oh, no. Somewhere else in the pack. Sorry. We need to get another lay of the land. So Slaunch still, and with Camby taking that pit, Slaunch just way out. in front. Camby has gone even further behind, but I don't think Slaunch has taken any pits yet. It's Roman, Luke. Oh, so it's Roman and Luke. That's who. Okay, yeah. So Luke's actually got the track position on detail. They're both done with pits. They're the highest. Oh, maybe going for the move on Roman into the carousel as well with the run. I think Roman even said it during the race, just didn't get the shift in that previous corner, I think, and so he didn't have the run going into the carousel. And we're running out of time too, so Slaunch had to be or has to be. Yeah, there we go, getting in for his first pit. But I mean, he's good. Let's be real here. He's good to go. So Camby gonna wait for it on the next lap and do it with Slaunch, but they're so gapped they probably won't even be in the pits at the same time. Luke does make the pass happen on Roman in the Canada corner, I think. So again, Luke and Detail the highest with 2 pits done. They're both gonna go by Lamau. Roman's gonna go in for his second. So he's done there, and it looks pretty good for a top 5. It looks like Roman and Soul. Oh my God, that was really close. Soul. Wow. All on the line right there. That looked very, very on the edge for Soul in a turn 1. You could tell he's going for it. And as you can see, well, okay, you know what? The Camby, or the Camby Slaunch gap, maybe Slaunch went for, like, maybe he just shot, like, almost everything. Because this gap actually closed. So I imagine Camby went for a pretty quick first pit and Slaunch did the opposite. And so now the gap's closed a bit. And that could have gotten interesting, potentially, if it was such a difference that Camby got in front of Slaunch. But Slaunch worked out so much track position that just wasn't going to happen. So I'm curious to see where Camby comes out with Luke in Detail, because I think Slaunch should have it. I think Slaunch is just going to be on for it. But Camby, Luke, Detail, I mean, that could be podium battle. And they're done with their pits. Camby and Slaunch both have to take theirs. So here we go. This is the last opportunity. But did Slaunch do it? Oh, maybe Slaunch already did both. Oh, that might be why. Maybe Slaunch already did both. That makes sense. I must have missed it when he went in the first time. He's so far ahead, probably didn't even see it. So Camby goes in for his final one. And yeah, he's got to do the reload. So I was right about the short pit, though. So yeah. So Camby's definitely going to lose those 2 positions. Luke and Detail going to go by. So same top 3, but they're going to be in like a jumbled order from what we saw in Moto 1. Camby's still in 4th, though, which is a good run. So it'll be Roman 5th, Soul 6th. So no, right after taking the pit with 2 to go. Oh, brutal. And Camby's going to be out of the race with 2 to go. That's freaking brutal. Right after finishing the pit and on for another top 5, which Camby was coming off of almost winning the damn Indy 500. Oh, shit. We have a battle here. Coop and Armada going for it on track. Armada, I like that move. A really nice switchback out of Coop, though. This guy's actually cooking up a pretty decent battle here in the mid-pack. But Armada's going to have the advantage for now. We'll see if we can hold on to it. But yeah, that is so unfortunate, man. I mean, Camby literally just won a Moto. Sorry, he didn't win a Moto, but he had a really strong run. He had he might have had 3 damn podiums. I don't know. He had a really strong run. White flag for Slaunch here at the Indy 500. Very strong run. Multiple podiums. Second places. Very, very close to taking the overall win and very close to taking multiple Moto wins. And I've been saying it. He's been good, and he was looking to have another decent night. I mean, this wasn't going to be as strong as his Indy night, but it was still going to be a decent one. And that second one's going to be rough. I mean, like all of his freaking mulligans at this point in the season are just basically all lag outs for the most part. It's just so brutal. I don't know, and I say lag out, but whatever it is, game crash. I don't know what the issue is. Something must be up, because I mean, yeah, it happens to him on this game in these lobbies, but like, I mean, it's mostly Camby, like almost all. I mean, it absolutely happens to Camby more than anyone else. So I don't know what the problem is there, what he could go about addressing it, if anything, but it's just odd that it happens to him very frequently. It happens to other people at times, but I mean, with Camby, it's such a regular occurrence. I don't know what's going on there, if you could look up something on that potentially, but you know, could matter with what platform he's playing on as well. But whatever it is, it's brutal. Especially after following up that momentum. I mean, he would have been on for another decent road course finish, but what can you do? Meanwhile, better than a decent road course finish, Slaunch, great Moto 2, very good Moto 1, brilliant Moto 2, going to bring it home, his second Moto win of the season, and we'll see how they finish out. Luke second, Detail third. So with that finishing order, I think that will make Slaunch the overall winner. Roman fourth, Soul fifth. Very close for it that time, though. Soul was getting there. Needed another couple laps. And then Hunter rolling in sixth. Yeah, this sucks for Camby. I mean, he had that fourth place on lock. Seventh, Armada eighth. Coop ninth. Real Deal. And Matt will obviously be passing Camby, with Camby lagging out on track. So Matt going to be coming across the line in 10th here. And Camby 11th. Yeah, it's just brutal. Just brutal. All right, so go through these overall results for you guys here for a second. At the end here, hope you guys enjoyed the Road America race. Pretty solid. Pretty solid Road America race in a different way. Obviously, in the other races of this track, we had the Jokers, some more on-track battling action. This one had that pit strategy cheese that worked out in its own ways. So another solid Road America race, but in a different way than the ones that we've already seen. Because we've already seen some good ones here. I mean, that freaking it's going to be hard to live up to it. That first one we did here, if it was the first one, I think it was the first one in Firestone Firehawk with I think the freaking heat race even was crazy. And then we had like a 3-way photo finish, 2-way photo finish, like first mode. It was insane. But another good race here in a completely different way. And yes, it does make the difference. So Slaunch will take his first overall on the season. He came in second at Long Beach, had a good showing there. And then interestingly enough, he's been running well, but took a Moto, took a second overall. Very strong start to the season at Long Beach. Has not been on the overall top 3 podium since then, which is a bit surprising. So it's been a whole month since he's been on the top 3 podium, and he gets back to the top step of it here on Road America. So he's going to be taking that one with 32 points. And then second place, Detail, who's doing some really good defending in Moto 1. Got some insider information that he has been squatting, working on the booty. Definitely worked out in that battle, in that situation. Definitely, made the hog as wide as possible to not let anyone by, and helped out with that situation. Was good enough to get him that Moto win, but unfortunate cheesing early in this race, and that kind of took him out of it from the beginning. So still a good recovery drive for third place podium on the Moto, though, and still going to take second place overall with 31 points. So a good night for him there. Luke going to take third overall here with a 3-2, 29 points across both. There's a solid night there. And then Roman, great fourth place performance, 26 points for him, finishing fourth both motos. Soul, fifth both motos, 24. I mean, Camby's lag out helped with that, but still kind of funny. Hunter, 21 points for him, seventh and sixth. And it would have been 7-7 for him without the lag out, so that's kind of funny too. Armada, 8th, 7th. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, Camby lagging out. Jeez, these orders, man. 8th, 7th, so going to be 7th overall for him, 19 points. Camby, we don't see him here, but 17 points, still going to take 8th overall with 6th and 11th. How many points did he lose out on? What, like 7 points? So Camby would have been battling for like top 5 overall. Yeah, that sucks. And then Coop 9th overall with 17 himself. Real Deal 10th with 15. And then Matt 11th with 13. So that rounds out the field. So there you go. Those are the overall points results as far as we know. If there are any penalty cheesers, we'll see. But yeah, definitely one of the cleaner races. Like, Road America's been pretty chaotic, but I think the pit strategy probably helped with that a little bit and cleaning it up. And also probably the fact that we've raced this track so many times now too. And Slaunch also made some changes to the track that like had the rough parts that could cause some cheese patched up as well. So that also probably helped out with that too. So another really good race here, and definitely, like, I would say overall the cleanest race too. Not like it was perfectly clean, but compared to the other ones, very, very good in that respect too. And still with some great battles. Like, I actually think the Moto 1 battle-wise was the one to watch with that top 3 battle of this night. You know, Moto 2s can get pretty crazy, but the Moto 1 tonight was pretty sick. The Moto 2 is good too, but more so about that early pack maneuvering and pit strategy. The first Moto had a lot more on-track action. So a little bit different taste there, but still pretty good for both. So again, hope you guys enjoyed it. All that stuff will be reflected in the points we'll get